Today, we're going to be taking a look at the StoneCho 3-liter rock tumbler. Now for a while, I've been searching for a great and affordable rock tumbler. So when just the other day a company reached out to me to review one of their rock tumblers, I jumped at the opportunity. All right, the moment of truth. Let's take a look inside. Now currently this barrel size is going to be the biggest one that I own, and I've been looking to upgrade because I've been having a lot of rocks that I need to tumble. We've got, of course, our tumbler. We also have all 4 steps of grit. Comes with this little strainer here. There also is a bag of goodies here. Now this is kind of cool. I wasn't expecting it to come with any sort of like detailing tools, and something that I haven't seen in other tumblers. We also have another band for our tumbler in case the other one gets worn out, which is nice. A couple different screwdrivers and some plastic pellets. Now this is kind of nice because I have not seen other tumblers come with plastic pellets or ceramic media, and these really help to cushion your rocks, so I'm glad that they included that. Here we have our tumbler base. The quality on this lid is actually pretty nice. It's heavy duty. It's got a little twist cap on the top. Ooh, this is actually pretty heavy duty as well. Inside, it also comes with some rocks for us to tumble. So it looks like it came with some jasper here. These 2 down here have some agate banding, which I think is really cool. It also came with a bunch of tiger's eye, which looks really pretty when it's done being tumbled. We got a piece of quartz. So we got some green jasper. Look at that. Ooh, this one is gonna look so pretty when it's done. Now this, I can't decide if this is labradorite maybe, or not really sure, but it's kind of like got a blue hue. I'm really excited to see what this looks like when it's done. We've got 2 pieces of chert here. And then this pink, I'm gonna call it pink jasper. Not 100% sure on this one though. So these rocks are pretty decently sized, which is nice to see because if they're too small, they're gonna end up really, really tiny once they are finally done. I do like to be pretty close to 2/3 or 3/4 of the way full, especially on the first grit. So I am gonna take some more rocks that I have and add them. All right, and here are the rocks that I selected. A few of them have been sitting in water, waiting to get re-tumbled in step 1. And some are fresh and raw and ready for step 1. So one thing that is nice about this larger tumbler is I can tumble larger rocks, which I have been holding off on because you can only fit so many big rocks in a smaller tumbler. All right, so this is looking pretty good. I was just looking through the rock tumbler guide that came with our kit, and it does recommend that the first cycle is 3 to 5 days. However, I typically like these cycles to go about a week, so that's what I'm going to do. It also says to be on speed 3, which we will put as well. So this is the first time that I'm gonna be able to control the speed on the tumbler. I'm really excited to see kind of if that makes a difference, as I've never had that before. So I think that that's kind of a unique feature of this tumbler. Okay, so I have my grit here. It is 220 grit. I typically use 60-90 grit, so we'll get that poured in. Now, because I added some extra rocks of my own, I'm also going to add my polyplastic 60-90 grit. Now, typically the 220 grit is what I use for step 2. So I think that adding the 60-90 grit is going to help kind of grind them down a little bit more in our first stage. So let's add 1 scoop of this. You can see all the grit that we added here. Let's get this put all back together and put on our tumbler. Also, if you're interested in my tumbling process and how I like to tumble rocks, you can take a look at this video here. I've made a couple videos on the topic if you'd like to see what I do. So let's get this twisted on here. Oh, and this is heavy. Ooh, I'm so excited. I've never had a tumbler so big, so I'm excited to see how they work. Okay, so I have it all plugged in here. Here are some of the other, don't mind the mess, barrels that I have worked with in the past. This is my Loratone. This is the very first tumbler I ever got. We have this one from Harbor Freight and this one here from National Geographic. So as you can see, this is a 1-pound barrel compared to our 3-pound barrel. Definitely a large size difference here. And this one is a 2-pound barrel. If you kind of line them all up like this, you can see just about the difference here. Oh, this is the best part, by the way. So let's get it turned on. And we can see we have speed 3. It's on for 5 days. I'm actually gonna switch that to 7 just to give them some extra chance to tumble. So as you can see, it has a little pause resume button. Okay, I really like that because when I'm tumbling, like this one also is set to days, so 1 through 7 for the National Geographic one, but when you turn it on or off, it resets the days. And I kind of never liked that because sometimes I like to check on my rocks before the days are up, or especially when I'm filming, I like to pause all of my tumbler so they're not super noisy in the background. And then I have to remember, like, okay, what day was it on? And was it on like hour 7 of day 5, you know, or things like that. Now this is cool because you can just pause it and then resume it. What? Okay, I really like that. So we will come back in about 7 days, see how our rocks are doing, and move them on to step 2. And let's see. Oh, look at the color on those. Okay, so these rocks that came with the tumbler are gorgeous. Like, look at the reds on these jaspers. Oh, and that tiger's eye, that is so pretty. I think that these do need a little bit longer in stage 1. So we're gonna put these back in stage 1 for about another week, and then we'll check on them then. And we'll get this back on for 7 more days. So it's that time of year that I can actually go outside to do my rock tumbling. It is still a little bit cold and a little bit rainy today, but I don't care. I'm doing it. Well, let's take a look at our StoneCho rocks. Here we go. All right, so let's get these rinsed off really good, but so far these are looking good. I think they're ready for step 2. That banded jasper. Excuse me, who told you could be so beautiful? Okay, so let's get these back in our tumbler. And because we're moving on now to step number 2, we are going to put some ceramic media in with our rocks to help cushion them. Time to close up our barrel, put it back on the tumbler. The tumbler barrel itself is doing a great job so far. It is really heavy-duty rubber and metal. And these past 2 weeks, it has been tumbling really well on the barrel. Sorry, it's raining out here. So no problems with the tumbler machine part either. Doing great. All right, let's go put these back on. We will put it on speed 2 for 7 days. And in they go. Ooh, they're looking pretty good. This week we get to move them on to stage 3. Best part. Ooh, yeah. Look at that color. Got them nice and rinsed, and look at these beauties. Look at that. Ooh, that tiger's eye's turning out nice. The red jaspers are looking really good. They're feeling really smooth. Now, there's one in here, this one, that does have some texture on it still. You can see a bit of grit actually is still stuck right there. So we'll have to really make sure that we rinse this off well. If you do let that grit transfer on to the next stage, it can scratch and damage your rocks. So you have to be careful with ones that do have kind of bigger dents in them. But most of them are looking very smooth. We're gonna put this through a wash cycle, and then we'll get it back in the tumbler for step 3. And so far so good. I am expecting great things from these rocks. And we'll get these back on for another week. Well, it's been another week, so let's take a look at our rocks from the StoneCho tumbler. All right, let's look at our rocks. All right, and here's how they're looking. I did take one and dry it off just to see kind of the shine that it has already, and this is just after step 3. So when we move them onto the polish, it will turn from this satiny finish to a glossy one. We're also going to add the plastic filler here to really help cushion our rocks while they're tumbling in the polish. It's time to put this back on the tumbler. This time for 2 weeks, we're going to put it on the lowest setting so that it's tumbling nice and slow, and then we finally get to see our beautiful shine. I am so excited because it's finally time to look at our polished rocks. All right, let's get these open for the last time. Ooh, look at that. And in they go. And a rinse. Okay, and here's how they are looking. Ooh, these are looking so good. Look at that. Look at that flash. I will be taking these and putting them in the ultrasonic cleaner, and then we'll dry them off really well and see, how did the StoneCho tumbler hold up? Can it give us a beautiful polish? Let's find out. All right, I just gave them a good rinse, so now let's get them dried off. And look at that. Ooh, that shine is gorgeous. These turned out so pretty. Ooh, those jaspers, gorgeous quartz. You can literally see the trees reflected in this one above me. Almost got like a spark of silver in this one. Look at that. Wow. And this tiger's eye is super unique too. It's kind of got like a silver shift in there. You can see that. Look at that. How cool. Gosh, I just love how the tiger's eye look when they're done. That is just beautiful. This one looks really unique too with like that white in it. Look at it, it's so shiny. And as you can see, completely, can you see my finger? Oh, okay. You can see it on this finger. Completely dry. Look at that. Gorgeous. So for my overall thoughts on the StoneCho tumbler, I think it worked great. It's a nice 3-pound barrel, which is the largest one that I have, so you can tumble a lot more rocks at once. I really like that it has the feature of the speed setting, so it can go slow or go fast, depending on what stage you're on. I also really like that it has the set number of days, because a lot of the times when I'm tumbling, I forget when I start them, so being able to see how many days is left is really helpful. The barrel itself is a really sturdy material, along with the tumbler base as well. I did like that it came with additional parts for the tumbler and rocks to get you started, and I think it's a great tumbler to try out, especially for your first one or one that you may be considering. Thank you, StoneCho, for reaching out, and thank you for letting me review your tumbler. If you're interested in the StoneCho tumbler, check the link below and I'll have it in my video description. I'll see you guys next time. Bye!